Welcome to Eve's Gardeners. My name is Leia, and together I want to get into what it really means to believe in God. Join me in the garden every week to discuss different topics within the Torah, the world's first Bible and my personal favorite subject. Follow along to hear from unique perspectives as well as Torah experts I've had the privilege to learn from. Get ready to dive into the coolest and deepest topics on earth. Jonathan Chessner, welcome to the garden.
It's great to be at the garden. Yeah, this is really cool.
Great to hear. We brought the garden to the One Hotel today, which is amazing. It's beautiful here. Nice Miami winter weather, which is always nice.
It is.
If any of you guys are watching this and thinking that voice sounds familiar, or you're watching it on video and you think he seems familiar, this is the face behind Amuze. He's on Instagram. I'm sure a lot of, if you're a Jewish girl out there, you've definitely come across his stuff before. Definitely entered a giveaway. I'm going to let you introduce kind of what it is just for a little bit in case people don't know what Amuze is. But if you don't, you probably live under a rock because it is everywhere and you've created like this handbag designer empire and it's really, really impressive. So if you could just tell the gardeners a little bit about what you do.
Thank you. So the gardeners. First, I want to hear a little bit about the gardeners. Who are the gardeners?
Sure. The gardeners are my listeners. That's what we call each other.
I mean, is your last name Gardner?
No, my name is not. I mean, the podcast name is Eve's Gardeners, and that's my Instagram name. And everyone thinks my name is Eve or like last name Gardner. It has nothing to do. It's just like my alter ego on Instagram. Got it. But yeah, that's just we can get into the name of the podcast if you want. But
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amuze. I started Amuze a long time ago. It shifted to Instagram about 6 years ago. We work with boutiques in Italy and we offer that product to our customers through our Instagram stories where people can shop and they can save, pre-Trump tariff, anywhere between, 20 to 40% off retail, post-Trump tariff, anywhere between 10 to 30% off retail.
Is that a trigger word for you, tariff?
It's you know what? It's not a trigger word because it's already, what are we in? We're 4 months into these tariffs. Yeah. But just navigating through this new situation. But we're okay. We're okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, because we need our handbags. We need our
yes.
The girlies need to keep shopping.
They need their handbags 100%.
Whatever's going on with the economy, like girl math says, like we need handbags no matter what. So
yeah. and I actually saw this. I saw Saks now is going filing for bankruptcy.
Really? Yeah. A lot of department stores are like really struggling now. I mean, we're also in the clothing business, so the tariffs thing is like a trigger word for us for sure.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Where do you get your goods from? Where do you
from like internationally, China, Morocco, India.
Okay.
Yeah,
are you involved in like that whole that part of the business?
I'm not. That's more of like the wholesale side, which I'm very much only involved in like the retail. Okay. Like the e-com that we do, but yeah, it definitely was a scare, especially when COVID happened. That was also like that was a bad time. Like China was not shipping anything. And that's when we actually decided to start the e-com. Because, yeah, it was just like getting scary times, but we're back. It's fine. Like, Gamze Yavor, always. Like, that's my motto in life. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the fact that you like moved to Milan with your family. That was obviously part of the reason was part of the business, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
So where did you guys move from and like where are you living now?
So we were living in Baltimore. Okay. My wife's from New York. And we started off in New York. We ended up moving to Baltimore. And 5.5 years ago, COVID happened. And I decided, let's move somewhere. So we moved to Italy.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. It was a pretty, it's a pretty crazy story.
Did you have any connection to Italy at all before that?
I was going back and forth to Italy for about a year and a half prior to when we moved to Italy. Okay. Trying to figure out how to do the business. And I realized after I moved there, I would have never figured out the business if I didn't move there. Right. Okay. So yeah, but it's a fun story how we moved to Italy. Like I basically COVID happened. I had a manic episode. Okay. Like from all the stress that I was dealing with the whole business when it fell apart then, and basically I'm like, actually this is interesting because this is the Torah podcast. Yeah. Part of it was from like learning Torah, the manic episode. Really? 100%.
Wait, in what way?
So basically I was, I was living in an Orthodox Jewish community in Baltimore. Okay. And I just noticed certain things just didn't seem like Torah values that were going on in like, but in like,
okay, I hear
from
what you're
like from
the outside it seems yes, but from like
I kind of like was seeing things a little bit different, like kind of like how like I basically saw the whole Jewish community, part of my manic episode, as this massive cult, where like kind of like the rabbis were controlling all the people. I'm not saying I was right. I'm saying I was
okay.
definitely a little bit like whatever. I mean, so
there's no judgment in the garden, by the way.
Great. But then I like, growing up, going to yeshiva, they teach you like they teach you Chumash or like Tanakh.
Yeah.
When you're in like first, second, third, fourth grade at a very like very simple level, and then it switches to Gemara, to Talmud.
Okay.
And then you're just learning stuff that, at least for me, like I never connected with any of it. Just like
with the Gemara.
With the Gemara, and you're just like, but that's all they focus on. And
really, okay.
And like the rabbis tell you, this is how you're gonna get to heaven one day, by learning. The more you learn, like the closer you'll be to Moshe Rabbeinu and whatever it is, and basically and COVID happened, whatever, and I just one day I just decided to open up a Tanakh and start reading, just like randomly. It ended up being like Isaiah. Okay. I read the English part because that's another weird thing that in Jewish schools like yeshiva, they don't really teach you Hebrew.
Really?
And, yeah.
That's so weird. Wait, like in the yeshiva school, you don't learn Hebrew?
You don't learn Hebrew.
Like you don't. Oh, I guess because it's like Zionistic.
I don't know why.
Like they're probably not teaching modern Hebrew.
Well, they teach you how to read. Mm-hmm. They teach you how to write, and they teach you the translations of
like the roots
of the Pesukim.
Oh, okay.
At like, but again, from like first to like fourth grade.
And then that's it. No more Tanakh.
And then then they switch to Gemara.
That was always so funny to me because I know a lot of yeshivas like in Israel, like the ones that like people go to after high school, where it's like all Gemara. Like they don't have like one class that's about Tanakh. And it's like, did we miss the plot? Like, isn't the Gemara like the notes of the Torah? Like, isn't the Torah like the main character?
Exactly. 100%. So that, So then I started reading the Tanakh and I'm like, wait a sec, I'm reading it and this makes so much sense to me. For the first time, I'm learning something that makes sense to me. And it's kind of, and Tanakh is really like, is God.
Yeah.
It's like
God's word. Yeah.
God's words. And the Talmud are rabbis' words interpreting the Tanakh.
Right.
So, I guess I kind of became a little bit of a Tzedukי Jew, if you know what that is.
Yeah, it's like a Talmudic, like maybe I'm missing that. What that is?
They call it Tzedukי, is someone who doesn't keep the Talmud but keeps the Torah.
The Torah. Okay. I mean, I never studied Gemara honestly, so I can't like speak on like the actual contents in it. My husband studies it every day, like once a day. But I feel like it's all in levels. Like it's the same way that I feel about like people who are really into Kabbalah. But have like never opened the Tanakh in their life. It's like, I'm like probably not going to get to that in my lifetime. Like I barely understand like simple Rashi and like Tanakh. Like I want to like understand that first before like I move on to like the more like complexities and the secrets of the Torah.
Yeah.
Just because that's just for me personally. Like that's what I've always connected to. That's like literally the reason why I became religious, was just by reading the Torah itself, learning about like the actual contents of the Torah. And it's pretty like undeniable. Like for me, it was like very undeniable that like God wrote these words and it couldn't have come from like the wisdom of a man. But like, yeah, the oral Torah was always such an interesting idea to me. I was always like so fascinated by why God wanted to have an oral Torah versus like just having everything in writing. Like for me, like I'm very type B, but I need to have everything in writing because otherwise like it'll be chaos. So I'm curious as to what like God was thinking there, but whatever, maybe we'll save that for another episode.
Exactly. Yes.
I have so many things that I want to get into with you today. We were going to start off with some Jewish geography, but you kind of like basically answered all my questions. The garden version of Jewish geography is literally just what's your background, where did you grow up? Which you said Baltimore or Maryland. You always lived there?
I lived in Baltimore, and then I went to Israel for 3 years. Met my wife there. Moved to New York for.
Cute. You guys met in Israel?
We met in Israel. Yeah.
That's so nice. Wow.
And we moved to New York for a year and a half. Then we moved to Baltimore. We were there for, I guess, 13 years, and then Italy.
Wow. Wait, is your wife from Israel, or she was just there?
No, she's from New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She was in seminary.
Oh, okay.
I was in yeshiva.
Where'd you go to yeshiva?
I was in yeshiva called, at that time, Neve in Telstone.
Oh, wait. I know Neve, but it's like for girls.
Yeah, so there's the Neve for girls, which is like more like a Bali Tshuva type place. Yeah. And then there's a Neve for boys, which is not connected.
Okay,
I don't know if the yeshiva is still around, but it was a yeshiva for people who wanted to have a good time.
Okay, for the party people.
I guess so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fun. No, Israel's definitely the place to go if you want to have a good time.
No, for sure.
Okay, so let's introduce today's episode because I'm like really excited to get into it. Today we are talking about a very, very trendy topic, more trendy than Oran sandals or Birkin bags or Dior bags or Gucci bags. We are talking about none other than anti-Semitism. It's what all the cool kids are doing now, guys. If you didn't know, if you have to hop on board, everyone hates the Jews apparently. I mean, it's nothing new. This tale is pretty much as old as time. But we're definitely seeing it for the first time in our generation, like in such a real way, especially with like the dark web of like TikTok and like social media. And it's gotten pretty crazy. And I really wanted to talk about it with you because we never even spoke about how we met. But basically, I met Jonathan. We were staying in Israel. We were staying in Israel in Tel Aviv, and we happened to be staying at the same hotel. We just started talking. And,
shout out Kambinski Hotel.
Oh, the best place
hotel
ever
in Israel.
The best breakfast that literally lives rent free in my head. Yeah, so we just we kept like running into each other by the pool and stuff, and we just got to know each other a little bit. And you shared like one story with us that I found super fascinating, and I was like, okay, this is my time to like ask him if he'd ever come on the podcast. And it was about, we got into the topic about kippahs. I think you were talking to my husband or something, and you mentioned how you wear a kippah and you have your kids wear a kippah in school in Italy, but it's not for religious reasons. So do you want to explain like the whole situation that you explained to me, because I found it really fascinating.
Yes, I do. I do also want to say one thing is that when I met you that time in Israel, I didn't put two and two together until we started speaking, that I saw a reel of yours when you were in, maybe you were in Auschwitz, or you were in one of the concentration camps.
Maybe it was a video I did about when I went there.
Exactly. When you went there, and you were saying how like, everyone was so sad and this and that, and like you were more like, you had like an opposite view of like, this is amazing how like we're all here.
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, as in like, we like, not awesome like what happened. Like,
yeah,
look at us
awesome
now.
that we're here now.
Exactly. And I remember seeing that, and I liked it, and I thought that was really cool, because cool. It's a different, it's a different approach that people don't really take.
Which I'm not into being depressed.
Like, yeah, which I feel is is the right approach. But okay, so regarding the yarmulke.
Yeah.
So originally, okay, like today, there are people who are a lot more religious than I am who won't wear their yarmulke in public.
Right.
Or at least outside of their Jewish community. If they're going.
Yeah, like to work and stuff.
Exactly.
Like even like really from like religious Jews, they sometimes won't wear their yarmulke to work because it raises questions, and it's just like you don't want to like come off as like that Jew or I don't know what. But there's a lot of, and like it's valid. Like rabbis okay it.
Yeah. So I'll like my response. Like I would say, if I was a rabbi, I would say like, if you're going to make a Chilul Hashem, or if someone's Chilul Hashem, if like a bad representation of
yes,
being
I love
a Jewish
how you're
person.
Translating all the words for the gardeners. I always like ask my guests to do that, but you're just like doing it naturally, which I love.
Exactly. So if you're gonna do something bad, then you should take this off.
Like if you're gonna flick someone off in traffic, then take it off.
Yeah, or I mean, if you're gonna do something bad in business, or right. Whatever it is, if you're not doing
cut
good,
the line at the restaurant,
exactly,
take it off.
Then take it off. But in general, like you should always take it off. You know what I'm saying? Unless you do tshuva, then you put it on. But if you're going around just being a good person, and being a good representation of Jewish people, and making a Kiddush Hashem, which is a good name for the Jews, I think you should always wear it, because there's a lot of bad press about us, but if we're wearing it, and we're making Kiddush Hashem, then it'll, people will like us more,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If that makes sense.
So that's why you have your son wear it, like to school and
stuff. So my kids
has the opportunity to like.
So yeah, well, I've always done this. For me, like, I'm like a Torah Jew. So like I said before, I'm not like necessarily like a Talmud Jew, but like I try to keep, like all the good things in the Torah, to make us try to make God happy. So I never really, so I always want to wear it because, I can make a Kiddush Hashem. so then people can, you know, to give Jews a good name.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a really like good approach, because that's like the point of it. Like that's the people who are like, take it off when you're about to curse someone out in traffic. Like that's kind of the point of it. So like just leave it on and don't curse them out, you know?
Exactly.
Like you're a Jew, you have to like, you're constantly reminded you have this thing on your head. So like you can't just like act however you want. You have to like be in line, because people already hate us enough. We don't have to give them like a real reason.
100%.
Yeah.
And with my kids, so you know, like I said before, we live in Milan. My kids, when we started in Milan, we put them in the Chabad school, but you know, it was very small. It wasn't for them. It's also in Italian. They weren't speaking Italian, so we switched them to the international school and the American school in Milan, and they're the only Orthodox Jews in the school.
Oh wow.
I mean, maybe there's like a handful of other Jews, but no one's really like affiliated with their. No one's Orthodox.
Yeah.
No one's wearing yarmulkes or anything like that.
Got it. Yeah.
And the majority of the school they don't even know necessarily what a Jew is. You know, I feel like now everyone knows what Jews is after the war because of everything that's going on. But like,
yeah, but they don't actually know what a Jew is. They just have like their ideas of what we are.
Exactly. So basically, so my kids, they wear their yarmulkes to school. They, you know, and I believe we make a big Kiddush Hashem through that, because you know. Yeah, I think it's a really good thing that they do. And also, like, so now they're in a school of 1,000 kids. 1,000 kids know what Jews are. They have a good impression on Jews because, because they're good kids. And yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. From the little I got to know of your kids, like very little, they seem like very well-mannered and very like mature.
Yeah, I think it's about Jewish confidence. I think there's a problem with I think people don't wear yarmulkes because they're scared. I think it's because they're
maybe more like embarrassed, like
exactly.
Yeah, and that's funny because that never got us anywhere. The Jews who were like, that's literally, we just passed Hanukkah, like that's the whole story. It's like blending in and like pretending not to be a Jew like never helps. Like the only reason like Jews continue to exist is because like God loves us. So like just love God and you'll be good, you know?
100%. Yeah.
No, anti-Semitism is a really interesting thing to me. It's always been like one of my personal proofs of Hashem. I just think that like it makes no sense logically. Like there's not really a way to explain it in a normal way to make sense of like why people hate Jews. It's always changing. It's always different. And like we're so small in the grand scheme of this whole world. Like it's so funny. Most people, even coworkers of mine who like I work with on a daily basis, like they think that there's like billions of Jews out there. I'm like, there's literally like nothing. Like there's not. Like we had a whole argument. She literally thought there was like more Jews out there than Muslims. I'm like, that's crazy. We did like a quick ChatGPT and she was like shocked that there was only like 14 million Jews, if any. Like we're just probably overcounting at that point. Like it's really so crazy to be so small, but so like taking up so much of the hatred of the world, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I do think that there's more than 14 million Jews though.
You think there's more? Maybe maybe like displaced.
I think there's they say there's 16 million Jews.
Okay.
And
we're going up. Thanks.
I know for a while we've been at 16 million Jews.
Oh yeah.
But if you technically Google every single country, and then add them all up, it'll be closer to 20 million Jews.
Okay.
But I think it's probably like
that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think it's like triple that, to be honest. Because who's count? You know.
Yeah. How do we count that? Honestly?
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, but there is like. Compared to like other populations of the world, like we are significantly smaller. For sure. And I think that's what's always been so fascinating to me about anti-Semitism is like, why are we so like popular and so like, and it's just like the anti-Semitism, even like the nature of the hatred is so extreme compared to other hatreds that have existed. Like when it comes to like racism and other hatreds, it's like, okay, we're going to enslave these people. They're on a lesser class than us. They're on a lower level than us. But like with the Jews, it's always been like, we have to exterminate every single one of them. Like they're rodents, they're this, they're like, we just have to get rid of them, wipe them off the map. It's like so extreme. And like, even the way that they're wiping us out is so extreme and like, so like as if we're not human. It's not even like we're a less level human. It's like, we're not human at all. Like you can even trace this back to Egypt when they were like freaking throwing our children off into the Nile River. And even up to, Nazi Germany with putting us in ovens. Like, who the hell does that to any other? It's just crazy. Like, I mean, there have been other hatreds that have existed that have replicated the Jewish hatred because it's been so successful how they've continued to exterminate us. But we're like the origin source of like the most evil geniuses master plans. It's just like crazy, like why we have such a deep rooted hate against us when like we're not that bad, you know? Like we like you think about like us in the world, like Jews are not going out here like doing crazy things. Like we kind of keep to ourselves. We're like weird. We keep a bunch of weird rules, but like that's pretty much it. Like I'm sure there's a good and bad Jews, just like there's good and bad in every religion, race, whatever. But like for the majority of Jewish people, like what do? Like we help like your economy and like make good doctors and good lawyers. Like, you know, it's
no, 100%.
Yeah. It's a proof of God to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is something interesting that no one ever talks about.
Yeah.
But what would you say? Okay, you've read the Torah. You read the
Yeah.
the
I'm not gonna say that I'm like a professional. Okay, but yeah, I know the storylines.
So to me, when I read the Torah, especially the Tanakh, especially like, you know, like with like the kings and everything like that. But what would you say is the number one point that God says in the Torah? And he says it over and over again. I think more than anything.
Like the number one thing he wants from us?
The number one thing the number one concept in the Torah.
Like I'm going to say unity, but I don't know if that's where you're going.
No, so basically, like it says this all over the Torah that like when God is happy with us,
okay,
we're completely blessed and everything's perfect. Right. When God's not happy with us, you know, there's going to be problems with us. He's going to curse, and he says the curses are terrible. He says the curses are like what like October 7th was like really really what's it called? So
that's like Navi you're talking about. It's more
Navi and Chomid. I mean, there's a couple parshas. Literally, the entire parsha is dedicated to this concept.
Yeah,
like parsha like Hazinu, especially towards the end of Devarim.
Yeah, you know, I remember learning this a lot in like middle school. Actually, it's like the whole cycle of sin situation, of how the Jews are constantly in this cycle of like we're worshiping God, we're good, we're living our like best lives. And then like life gets so good and we're so privileged that we're just like, we don't need to do all this. Like we're fine. Like everything's good. And we start like blending into other societies and like starting letting go of certain things. And then, stuff starts to get bad for the Jewish people. And like, once we're super disconnected, it's like really bad. And like our enemies come for us and it's like, we have nobody but each other. So we have to all come back together and like worship God. And then like the cycle repeats.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me,
that's kind of why I said unity, because I mean it's kind of similar like to the way that you're explaining it. Like the whole God's just trying to tell us like stick together and be Jewish and like you'll be fine. You know, just stop with like the blending in. Like stop trying to be like everyone else. Stop trying to like be embarrassed about, you know, what you are. Like this is it. Like the anti-Semites almost like remind us. That's another reason why I really think it's a proof of Hashem. Like the anti-Semites are the only people that like remind us of like you're all the same. Like I don't care 100%. If you were born by a Jewish dad, mom, whatever, you're a black Jew, you're a white Jew, you're an Ashkenaz Jew, like you're a non-religious Jew, you're an atheist Jew, you're all Jewish to Hitler. Like, you know, they don't like discriminate in that sense.
Yeah. Unless like you're like, I think if one of your grandparents were Jewish, then you're like, I think if you're like 3/4 not Jewish, then you were like not considered a Jew, but you still weren't a German, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like.
But no, they're like I see people on Instagram all the time, like super liberal, like comedians, like Jewish liberals. I'm saying like that are very much like pro the Palestinian side, and they're like trying to like get away because they're Jewish, like they're Jewish comedian, but like they have to like not get canceled, so they have to like mention that they're like with the Palestinians and stuff. And it's like, do you think that like if the day came where they came for you, like they would skip over you because you're like on their side? Like you have Jewish blood. Again, like it's an extreme hatred.
Well, potentially, let's say like the Neturei Karta, they could probably go into Gaza, no problem.
I think they turn on the Neturei Karta too.
Maybe. I mean, obviously, but
they're not sane.
Exactly. Like, if they're not, the only reason why they wouldn't kill the Neturei Karta is because they're kind of on the same team. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but I think if it came down to it, like they would want all the Jews gone, you know?
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe not in this certain situation, but like in Nazi Germany, like they were not like saying like, oh, like this person,
you know
what I mean?
Nazi Germany was Jewish.
Was a whole other level. Yeah. And like, I feel like what we're in now is kind of like, this is depressing to think about, but like it's the very early stages of like, I don't think it's going to be the same story as Nazi Germany, God forbid. But the little trickles of anti-Semitism that we're seeing now in America is going to continue to get much worse, I think.
I mean, hopefully not. But again, then let's like get into like what's going on with anti-Semitism.
Okay, fine. Let's get into that. You're right. Because you okay, fine. How about I ask it like this? Like, do you think that it's as bad as it seems, or like it just seems so much worse because we're in this dark web of TikTok?
So this is like, like I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't talk about any of this on my social media. Mm-hmm. Not that I don't want to, because it's like, again, like you said, it's a super trending topic. It's super,
but not good for business.
Yeah. Well, now
I mean, it's not related.
Now, like, with my business, it's all good because the whole tariff thing. But
whatever, it's not related. Like, there's no.
But more or less, like, my opinion is a little bit controversial because I want the same thing as all the activists, the anti-Semitic activists want. Right. You know, like, I want the same outcome, but I also think that, you know, but they disagree with my approach. Like I think that
you think the way that they're trying to get there is not working.
I think it's not working. I felt this way prior from October 7th. Yeah. Also, like I think that like, because I one time posted something and then I got a lot of hate from it, and I took it down along these matters. But they are keeping us in this fear, you know, this mindset of fear. Yeah. And they overdo it. Like, of course, anti-Semitism exists, but like, you know, they're just sitting and calling people out, and it's like, what is it getting? It's not getting us anywhere.
I completely agree with that, honestly.
It's only getting, and according to them, they're the ones who's giving us these numbers. It's only getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah. Like, I think it's better to just like ignore these people and see what happens. At least try. I think all these activists should take like a 1 week break, 2 week break, 1 or 2 week break. Yeah. Don't you know, don't reply to any of these anti-Semitic people, any of these pro-Palestinian, you know, and just focus on just being like a good Jew, and just 100%. Ignore it, because you're giving them a voice.
No, I honestly agree with this wholeheartedly. It's like the same thing of like when October 7th just happened and everyone was like fighting with like a Muslim in their DMs. Like everyone was fighting with a pro-Palestinian in their DMs or like on a comment section. And it's just like, it's really triggering. I get it. Like, you want to respond, and like sometimes you have like the best comeback and the best thing to respond to it. And for these influencers, probably like the most like rage baity like stuff, but like, and it's probably really great for engagement, but is that really like helping anybody, or is it just making them hate you more? Like the pushback. And like, can our time be used in such a better way? Like, you know, instead of like constantly focusing on like all the people that hate us, like just focusing on building each other up, and like what we were saying about Tanakh, like being unified and like actually like becoming this like unified Jewish people that loves Hashem and like sticks together and like stronger together, you know, like kill them with the unity part. Because like honestly, there's nothing more terrifying than a unified Jewish people, I think, like when we're together. Then like we've got like crazy tools up like in our toolbox, you know. We have like a lot of things going for us. Like, we honestly don't need these people, you know. I mean, but the reason why I kind of there is like a certain part of me that does say like we do have to fight back in some way, just because like we can't just, I mean, if it comes down to like, you know, physically fighting, like we have to know how to like stick up for ourselves and like fight back. But sure. Like these words don't do anything.
Exactly. But we have that. Like that's another thing you touched about. Yeah. Like instead of like you know, how much there's probably been billions of dollars raised over the past couple of years. Yeah. To all these different causes. Like you know, instead of, I don't even know what all the money goes to. Yeah. But because it doesn't seem like anyone's doing it. Maybe they go to college campuses and speak to the echo chamber there.
But it's just like, what is that doing?
But like, put money into security.
Their minds made up.
Exactly. Yeah. Either, you know, if you want to, put the money into security.
Yeah, get every single one of us a gun. Like.
Yeah. Well, we have the Israeli army.
Yeah.
You know, so Israel's protected. I mean, what I've noticed, again, this is all my opinions, but what I've noticed is, I don't think any social media post, regardless of what side you're on of the war, like, did anything to bring home any of the hostages or did anything to end the war. Definitely not. No. Like, the only the only thing that made the difference were, government decisions.
100%.
So like,
yeah.
So all like it just on both sides, it creates so much more hate, and and I personally think it's just best to ignore it, because again, like, who cares? So what's the point of getting into dialogue with this person? You're never going to meet the person. You're never going to, you're not going to change their mind at this point. Like,
and like, if you're trying to piss them off, I feel like ignoring them would do a much better job.
100%. Yeah. Like people
keep it classy. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to like let's say if there was a Palestinian protest going on, like right downstairs, like a lot of people with like on the Israel side are going to go there. They're going to make some content, make some videos out of it, and it'll perform well on social media. But if you just ignore it, they come with their signs, they're done 2 hours, whatever it is, and then no one cares, move on with the day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like in Italy, like every day there's they're for sure getting paid to do this, but there's a bunch of old people that line up in front of the Duomo with Palestinian flags and signs about like the genocide and all that kind of stuff. And I remember one time in the summer, like I walk by it, and then a Jewish person comes up to me and is like, "You see all this stuff?" And I'm like, yeah, they come here every single day. They're harmless.
Just another Tuesday.
Exactly. Yeah. It's peaceful, whatever. But like, it's, they do say really bad things about Israel. But this guy's all like, he's getting like worked up, and he's like, oh, I'm going to record them. I'm going to go to them. I'm going to record this. And I tell him, I'm like, but why would you? But then you're just like, exploiting the situation and just using it as content, because you're not making a difference.
Yeah. I mean, again,
and he's like,
good for engagement.
Exactly. And he said, yeah, you're right. And if it would do something, if it would like actually make a difference, 100% great. But it's not. It's not.
I totally agree with you. I think the same way that like posting about it doesn't do anything, like they're not doing anything either by like protesting with their signs. Like, okay, swag, you made a sign, like good for you. But like, that's not keeping the hostages there either. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's all coming from government decisions. Like no matter how many people are marching down like Manhattan, like, that's not actually like having an effect. They have zero effect on like Israeli politics, like whatsoever.
Exactly.
And I totally agree with you. Like fighting with them, especially like in a verbal, like if it's just about verbal fighting, like what are you going to do? Like their mind is made up, I feel like it's so much more important to like spend that time, like learning Torah, like teaching Jews about like who they are and being proud of who they are, and like just building ourselves up, like getting that confidence back, because we've definitely like lost the confidence. I feel like for a guy like that wears a kippah, it's hard like to like kind of blend in, but like there's a lot of people who are like hiding their Jewish star necklaces, or like just like embarrassed to like bring up the fact that they're Jewish at their like holiday party or like whatever. And that's what's the problem. We should put more activism there.
I think the reason though why so many people are scared to I don't think people are scared to wear their yarmulke. I think they're embarrassed. But why people are scared to do their Jewish star is because of all this, because of everything they're seeing on social media. That's why I think it's having a much
worse effect,
a negative effect.
Yeah, it's not only not doing anything; it's making it worse. You're right.
Yeah, because no, for 100%. Like I think a lot of these social media people, I think they're very talented. They're good at their job. They're good at what's it called. But I think it became more like, okay, so like used to be like their content. Some people have cooking content. Some people have fashion content. Some people have sports content. Now it's just content.
Yeah.
And I think it's just very businessy content, and which again, I'm friends with a lot of the people. I think that a lot of them are good people and stuff, but I think that it's
the intentions are good intentions.
Effect.
I hope, like for the most part, there's good intention there, but yeah, I agree. It's not really having a positive impact. If anything, it's having a negative impact. But I am curious to know like how, like, okay, fine. Like, I guess like not challenging like these random people on the street, or like stupid pro-Palestinian people online, like whatever, or like these white people wearing keffiyehs, like, okay, fine. Let them do what they want. But when it comes to people like Candace Owens and like people who have a huge impact on like changing the minds of like people and like spreading lies after lies, like do you think there's anything there like for us to go back and like fight against that?
So I think with Candace Owens, like okay, so Candace Owens, she's a perfect example. I think we turned Candace Owens into an anti-Semite.
Honestly, probably, yeah.
So
no, I don't know if we turned her. I think she always like had it there, but like we probably made it much worse.
Yeah, well, no, I actually think we actually turned her into an anti-Semite.
You think so?
I was a huge Candace Owens fan. Like,
I was too, yeah.
My mom's like one of these crazy conservative. What do they call it when you're
MAGA?
Definitely MAGA. She's a conspiracy. She buys into all the conspiracy theories. Yeah. She loves Alex Jones.
Okay.
She's and basically so Candace Owens. I was following Candace Owens even before, like, you know, I think she got big. She was always big, but she got really big like Black Lives Matter time. That's when she really got out there.
No, I loved her take on that, and I loved her take on feminism. I loved a lot of the things that she had to say. I don't know, like she kind of.
But well, she used to be very pro-Israel.
I know,
like,
yeah.
So that's why. So she was pro-Israel. I remember when Trump moved the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem, she was at the event with maybe she could have been there with Charlie Kirk, but she was at the event. She was very pro-Israel, and then there was I think the Kanye West thing.
Okay, that's when it started.
It started before the Kanye West thing. Okay, Rabbi Shmuley Boteach.
Yeah,
I met him before. I think he's very talented at what he does, but I also think that he's a clout chaser.
Yeah, he's definitely part of that. Just what we were just describing. I actually had his daughter on the podcast. We talked a lot about Candace Owens. It was very interesting. Okay. She's hilarious.
Yeah, I think Rabbi Shmuley is very talented. I think he's an excellent businessman.
He likes to poke the bear. I think
he pokes the bear, and he, you know, in my opinion. Again, I'm not saying anything bad about Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, but okay. Well, I don't. This is my thoughts.
It's okay. Again, yeah, speak freely. Like,
yeah, if he sees this, I know he
I don't think he listens to this.
He calls people out and he gets a little crazy. Yeah. But basically,
I think he has a lot more people to worry about before.
Yeah, but sometimes he'll he'll focus in on something that if someone says something bad about him, and he'll just like start posting like you know a lot about it. But anyways, he's like what he did with Candace Owens.
Yeah.
So so Candace Owens said something about Hitler that was taken out of context. It was taken out of context. It wasn't like it was just part of a conversation. He took it out of context and he decided that Candace Owens is an anti-Semite. I don't know the full thing that happened, but he really went at it. But again, it was good for him to attack Candace Owens, because eventually Candace Owens, like, he was attacking it so much that Candace Owens responded, and when Candace Owens responds to him, it's good for Rabbi Shmuley Boteach because you know Candace Owens got millions of followers, and now it's a whole, you know, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
So he went on this whole campaign with his daughter. I think it was with his daughter, talking about how
they're both like fight against him. Like,
exactly. Yeah, how Candace Owens is this terrible anti-Semite, and she was like, "No, I'm not."
This was before Kanye.
This was before Kanye. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. She brought this up on the podcast, but I didn't remember that time period because I've been following her more like since now, which is, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Okay. So
Rabbi Shmuley Boteach went on this huge campaign to tell everyone that Candace Owens is a massive anti-Semite when she wasn't. Mm-hmm. And
when she wasn't like outwardly.
No, she actually wasn't. She was not anti-Semite.
Okay, yeah, she was pro-Israel. Okay, got you.
And what she said about Hitler was taken out of context. It wasn't like a bad thing.
Okay.
And it was just like an informational.
Yeah, I never thought she was an anti-Semite until the whole Kanye situation.
But then, eventually. Maybe she started turning before the Kanye situation, but eventually, once you call someone anti-Semite for 2 years, like you're just this anti-Semite when you're not, you'll be like, you know what? Okay, fine. You know, maybe I'll be an anti. You want me to be an anti-Semite? I'll be an anti-Semite. Especially when you have that type of personality.
I'll show you.
Yeah. She's got that person, because I also I have that. I understand that because I have that kind of personality also. When you know, but anyways, yeah. So she is good friends with Kanye West, and then when the Kanye West thing happens. I think she kind of doubled down. More what's it called. But I'll also say with Kanye West is I never thought Kanye West was an anti-Semite.
I honestly just think he's like deranged. Like I don't think it.
Exactly.
I never took what he said like personally. Like I still listen to Kanye sometimes. Like I'm like whatever. Like he's obviously mentally ill, and. Yeah, I didn't think that was like, I didn't care about the Kanye West thing when he was coming out on Twitter and like saying crazy stuff. Like he does that all the time. Like he said way crazier stuff before that, not related to the Jews. I thought it was weird that like Candace was like really like doubling down on it and like never like kind of like she's a public figure and like he was saying some pretty crazy stuff and she was still like sticking by him and like supporting like whatever he was saying and like to not just like be like, guys, like I messed up, like that's obviously like I'm friends with him but we don't agree on everything. Like she could have just said like a simple statement and like been done with it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you like this also about Kanye West is how we handled Kanye West was so bad. It could have been like a one-day thing, and everyone became friends after.
There would have been no swastika T-shirts on his
exactly.
website. Like.
So basically, well, back to Candace for a sec, is that she I think it's more of like she hates Jews not because she hates Jews. She hates Jews because of all the confrontation and the back and forth, and her being attacked for being anti-Semitic, and then she's and her like. Then today she is anti-Semitic for sure.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask you. I was like, I'm wondering if you think, because I obviously think she's an anti-Semite.
Yeah. Today, I think she is. I think we made her one, and I think we can change her to not be an anti-Semite. I think we could just like take a step back. Let's have a conversation. Let's get this all like speak it all out.
At this point, she's making a lot of money. Okay. She's done. Like she does not care.
Maybe. I mean, it could be also all these things are just doing it for all these people are doing it for clicks. Like Tucker, that could be.
I'm
not saying
a big part of it is, but like when you're constantly living in a lie, even if it's like a fake lie in the beginning, like you start to believe it eventually. Okay. I think she's very smart at what she does. I'm sure she knows that a lot of the things that she says is like complete BS, and like that's kind of, I don't know if you heard Ben Shapiro's talk at Amfest. He kind of like was explaining like what phenomenon is happening here. Is like Candace is like a genius at like taking like something very vague and like taking something super out of context and like making you think that it's fact without giving any dates, any like specific time periods, any like actual real evidence. It's just kind of like spinning it and talking about it, and like the way that she twists and turns it until it sounds like, okay, this is like, it's a conspiracy theorist. Like, you know how they can really get you to believe what they're saying. And she's like mastered that. And that's what I think she just replicates in all her videos now. Like now she's talking about Jews like contributing to slavery and like that they were like, I'm sure there were Jews who owned slaves. Like every white person owned a slave.
But I honestly think that if we actually would sit down with her and even like go back to, you know, the layers of the onions, what, you know, if you really go back to the beginning and just like talk it all out and like how this happened, how we got to this place, I think that it's more comes from her hate from the people that like attacked her for being anti-Semitic. I think it stems from that. But now she's
not even like hiding it. Like,
no. Now again, she's full out ago. But I'm saying I do think that we can, if we would like have. I think it's our fault that she's like this today.
I'm sure we're like, a huge contributor to that. I mean, but
now she is like this. So now, like, okay, so now it is what it is. Or we can learn from this. Like, let's say, like, okay, with Kanye West, you just saw he spoke, he went to that Rabbi Pinto.
Oh, yeah, that's
who also seems like a little bit of a clout chaser these days.
I mean, if you're meeting with Kanye West and you're Rabbi Pinto, like, that's...
Yeah, but the way he's posting it on Instagram, he's like, yo, I'm with funny. Kanye West, you know?
That's that was hilarious.
But again, like, I knew from day one, like, I was a huge Kanye fan.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. Not because of that, just because whatever I feel like over the past couple of years, you know,
grow out of it.
Yeah, I think he himself, he's a little out of it. But Kanye, like, I was like a huge fan. Like, we're both Geminis. I'm like 2 days apart from his birthday. Oh, really? What's your birthday?
June 16th.
I'm the 11th.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So when he, like, also when I was going through
Kanye is a Gemini.
Yeah, he's a Gemini. Yeah. No, Geminis are a little bit crazy, a little bipolar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have like two sides to us. That's why I said the alter ego thing on Instagram, like split personality.
Exactly. So like I kind of like I think that I have that same kind of way of thinking, like Lahavdil, I guess. You know. So basically, when he came out with a death con to the Jewish people, I wasn't like. From the second I saw that, I was like, some Jewish people definitely screwed him. Yeah. And this is how he's, you know, venting. This is how he's venting. So instead of and you don't need to be a genius to understand that. Mm-hmm. You know, it was out of the blue. It was out of nowhere. And
it made no sense, like, grammatically, the tweet.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Like, it was not thought through and like
exactly. And he's you know, he's known to, you know, have, you know, bipolar, whatever it is. So like from it could have ended in a conversation. So right away, what happened? The ADL went on this whole campaign, and then like
what is the ADL? Because I saw you message that and I didn't know what that was.
The ADL is the Anti-Defamation League.
Okay.
I think it used to be a good. I personally am, like, I don't know what they do, to be honest, but they raise hundreds of millions of dollars. They just they just rang the bell on the stock exchange. They just opened up like a publicly traded like stock for the ADL, and like to me it just is one massive business. Like, okay, so Kanye West does this thing, the ADL, Kanye West does that tweet, the ADL goes on this whole campaign, and Kanye's like, look what he's doing, look at it, and he's spreading it to his millions of followers, blah 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 blah. And now, like, let's cancel Kanye West. Let's cancel him. And they are a very powerful organization, the ADL. So they successfully canceled him. And then they're like, you know what? Okay, why don't we try to work this out with you? You pay us $5 million, or like, like they wanted him to pay like them money. Like, that's what it is. The ADL is always like, money, when someone does something wrong, give a donation to us. And what do they do with their money? I honestly don't know what they do. Maybe they go to college campuses and they come with the reporting. They saying that every year it's like
definitely a lot of shadiness.
It's a couple 1,000% more the anti-Semitism that year. I have no idea what the ADL does. They put on huge multi-million-dollar events where they honor themselves and they bring out celebrities, and it's all in the echo chamber. That's, I have no idea what they do. But I think what they did is they just, instead of having a conversation with Kanye West, okay, what happened? Clearly someone hurt you. They're Jewish. I'm not giving Kanye West an excuse to do what he did. I'm not giving Candace Owens an excuse. I get what
you're saying. Like, we made it much worse for ourselves.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, again, there's no excuse for Kanye West to do everything that he's doing. There's no excuse for Candace Owens to do what they're doing. But we are a huge part of how we got there. So this is a very controversial thing to say, because people, like, they don't want to hear that. They're just like, they just want, like, these people are just so bad and huge anti-Semites, and they can't like think of anything else. But the truth is, it doesn't like, we can handle these things differently, and there would be far less anti-Semitism.
But I think all anti-Semitism is like rooted from like the Jewish people causing that. Like, I mean, not like we deserve this type of hatred for it, but like we said, like, it goes back to the cycle of sin of like Jews like not trying to blend in and trying to get out of it, and like, you know, God doesn't like that. He doesn't play around with that. It's not like even when the whole like, you know, situation in Israel, like even like the Arabs say this. I'm not just like saying this. Like, I never like to try to make like an excuse. I never try to explain like what happens in the world that's bad, because like I have no idea how God's mind works. But like the Arabs literally say this, that like the reason that they were able to get so much intel and like build up all this thing was because like the Jews were constantly like fighting politically and stuff, that they were completely distracted. They weren't like paying attention to what was going on beyond the border, you know? And it's such a waste for us to like not be together and like just like look past all these like small things. Like, it's like siblings. You're always going to find like something that you don't like about each other and to fight about and whatever. But at the end of the day, like, we're family, like whether we like it or not, like we have to get along. I think with the Candace Owens things, like maybe you're right. Like, to some degree we had like a big impact on making it get to this degree. She's also making a ton of money from this now. So like it's getting worse and worse and worse. But I think she is like especially, obviously she is now, we mentioned that, but like even like her Christian beliefs and stuff, like they probably would have never seen the light of day had we not like pushed her to this point. So I see what you're saying there. I don't know. I do think she's an evil person. But I don't know, like, this is how I think we should deal with people like that. Like, we obviously had this crazy thing happen with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Like, someone just got up one day and decided to kill him, which is crazy. And the reason why I think that's so wrong, like, obviously murder is wrong. And like, God tells us do not murder. But like the fact of like someone took it into their own hands and said, like, it's like the most narcissistic thing you could do. Like, I'm going to be the one to like take away your life. Like, whether someone lives or dies is like up to God. It's not up to like an individual person, and like thinking that you have the right to now and go do something. Like, I think that's what makes it like so evil and like disgusting, is like, you think you're above God, you're going to go ahead and kill this person. So like, there's a lot of people who say like, I hope Candace Owens dies, or like whatever, like says like crazy things like that. It's like, it's not in my right. Like, no matter how much you can hate a person, like, it's not my right to like go out and kill them. I think we literally have, I brought this Siddur here for a reason, but we literally have like a prayer in Shemona Esrei. I talk about this a lot because we do Siddur parties where everyone gets like a pink Siddur and we like learn about the Amidah. And like one of my favorite prayers, especially for now, I just want to like pull up the exact English translation of it because I definitely don't remember it offhand. But there's literally a prayer in the Amidah that's like dedicated to like destroying our enemies. And it's not saying that like we have to go out and destroy our enemies. It's like begging God to like destroy our enemies for us. Like, God has always done the dirty work for us when we needed him. And it's in his hands. Like you can only like it might feel so like helpless to not be able to like actually get to her and like fight back with her with their words or whatever. Like you feel very helpless, especially after October 7th. I know a lot of people living here felt extremely helpless, like not actually have been fighting in the war and stuff. But like you have the tools like to just, you know, talk to God and like vent to God about it and like beg God to take care of things for you. I feel like that's the best way to handle these things, is like literally just ask God for justice to be served. Let there be no hope for informers, and may all the heretics and the wicked people instantly perish. May all the enemies of your people be speedily exterminated. Okay, these are really hard words. Whatever. It's basically just saying like,
Amen.
I mean, yeah, like may you
like
kill.
It's like the Rosh Hashanah, the Seder, the Rosh Hashanah
Yes,
Seder.
yes.
You know, like the enemy should be annihilated out of the, you know, exterminated, whatever it is. But
like
but
it's not in our control, basically what I'm saying.
It's not
like,
in our control.
Whether these people are going to hate us or not, it's totally out of our control. The only thing we control is like how we react to it. And I agree with you. Like reacting by like just screaming at them back is not really helping, but like reacting by just like asking God to like beg your God to take care of the situation, like God will know what to do. You know, he's been here before. We've been here before.
100%. Yeah. And like, again, also like I think like just making Kiddush Hashem's is the best way to fight anti-Semitism. Like in my kids, like they're in this school, and they're in school with Muslims. They're in school with people from Lebanon. There's even a couple kids from Gaza.
Oh, really?
Wow.
School.
Yeah. Do
they experience like anti-Semitism at their school?
They don't. Like, has anyone cracked a Jewish joke before? Yes.
Okay, but that's different. Yeah.
But I think we're too sensitive today. Also, I
agree.
think,
yeah.
Like, you know, it's so. Like if some idiot says something anti-Semitic, you don't have to go on a whole like, look what this person did to me. Like I think there's a level of when you should react or when you shouldn't react.
I totally agree with that too. I think that's for sure a thing where we've gotten really sensitive about it, and like then we're turning into the people that we like accuse of like being like victim blamers and constantly wanting to be like, I don't want to be that. Like that's the opposite of the Jewish story.
Like we became like let's say like Black Lives Matter. Like obviously Black Lives Matter. Obviously like you want, you know, like their message. You want their message to be, you know, you're in line with their message. You agree
with the message, yeah.
With the message, but you don't agree on how they did it.
How they approached that, like, the solution.
The solution. So yeah, like I feel like now we kind of became like the Jewish Black Lives Matter a little bit.
No, I agree with that. I think it's like terrible that.
And to the point where you're seeing comments now is like, you know, a lot of the comments are stop victim blaming. Yeah. And sometimes in a lot of the stuff that's coming out there, like I saw like, I get all the time, people are like, what's it like living in Italy? It's like super like everyone thinks Italy is super anti-Semitic. Mm-hmm. It's not. And but they think that from videos they see on social media. So just now, I saw this a couple weeks ago. They posted a video of a bunch of like Palestinian flags by the Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. And I looked at this video. I'm like, this video, and the comment like, this isn't 1939 Germany. This is happening in Italy in 2025. I'm looking at the thing like right now by the Duomo, they're setting up the Olympics. Mm-hmm. So there's like a lot of construction. And I'm like this. I'm literally like there that day, and like, where's all the construction? And then I saw like this video was from like, and I Googled the video. The video was from the year before.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, it's still bad that happened, but it makes us look so bad, and like well,
the thing is, it doesn't make us look bad because it goes back to the other thing. What it does is it just adds fear to everyone because only Jewish people are seeing it anyways.
Yeah, but I think it makes us look bad if you're like saying that something happened now and like trying to make it seem like that. Then it's like, okay, what else are they lying about?
Exactly.
You know, it's kind of like when October 7th just happened and they were showing like the cages and stuff from like Syria or something. I was like, why? Like whoever put that out, like just why? Like,
yeah, so everything has to be what's like
we're not lacking material here.
Like, it's true.
You know,
and so there's just even now also like when did social media become a thing? Like I kind of feel, you know what I hate? I hate when some of these social media activists or whatever, these organizations. You're good with time?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just worried about you.
Oh no, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, but I feel also like we can edit some stuff because maybe some things are less.
Don't worry.
So basically, what was I saying in
something? You're like, you know, I'd hate.
Oh yeah. So like, I hate it when some of these organizations or these activists, so they'll post like whatever tragedy of the day, whatever anti-Semitic incident of the day, and they'll put their brand on the post.
Wait, I've never even seen. I don't know what you're. Maybe I didn't notice
okay,
it.
Like I'll show you. Okay, I'm not gonna call out any names because I don't.
Okay.
You know.
You won't get in trouble. Wait, that's so funny. It's like brand.
Like,
it's like
yeah, like
the watermark.
let's say okay. Let's say like yeah. Let's say like this one.
Okay.
It's always.
It's a business, yeah.
Exactly, but then it's very like it makes it like a business. Everything like there's like.
It's like we lost the plot.
Yeah, like.
If we're really trying to like make anti-Semitism less, it's like why are we like obsessing over it? I feel like that's a huge thing now. Everyone's obsessed with like the word manifesting. I really believe that this is a real thing. Not that we invented it today, that it's always existed. That like words have power. And if you're constantly saying something over and over again and thinking something over and over again, it's like going to affect your reality. Like yeah, it's exactly. actually a disease.
Like, everything's branding. You see, it's just like they have their.
Yeah, but it's a business. You know why they do that? So that when people share it, people know where it came from. You know, no matter how they share it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's another guy. I don't know if you know this guy.
No, you see, I can't even follow a lot of these people.
Everything's just.
It's so depressing to me.
Yeah. So like yes. First of all, so they put their brands on the tragedies. So they're using the tragedies
for clout.
Whatever. Clout or like,
yeah.
They're opportunists in my opinion. And again, this isn't everyone. And so they do that. And what's another thing that also irks me with these that
it kind of irks me sometimes. And I've definitely been guilty of doing this because I just feel guilty like to not. But like when, you know, friends and family are just like reposting like the same video that's going around, like everyone's like reposting it because it's like, we've all seen it already. It's on everyone's stories. And I've definitely been guilty of doing it, but I do it out of guilt because I feel like people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe she didn't post about that. You know what I mean?
So now you're posting not because, like for me, I don't post about this stuff more like, not because like, just because I feel weird doing it. Because like,
yeah,
before this happened, when did it become a thing where you just like, you have to like, you know, do like 15 posts on your social media when there's a tragedy. Like
yeah.
I saw with the Bondi attack in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So prior to that, I feel like it was a little quiet for like a couple weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Never quiet for long, but you know,
yeah.
I feel like it was quiet for a couple weeks. And I feel like, you know, when it's quiet, the activists, they don't really have anything to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of stretching things a little bit. And
right. So then when something happens,
and then the Bondi thing happened. And I'm looking at these things like some of these people are posting like literally over 10 times a day, not stories, posts about these things. With this. I don't understand why like what is that doing other than just like you can't go on social media. Like I can't escape it. I can't go on social media like for those couple of days because like it's social media became such a depressing place. Like we used to get our news from the news.
Yeah.
Now everyone is the news.
No, it's scary.
You know?
It's really scary thought. Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I don't think like the obsessing over it is healthy. Again, like just kill them with kindness. Like just, you know, show the positives. Like why are we so obsessed with every single tragedy that happens to us? Like it's fine. Like, okay, if you're a news like platform, post about it. But yeah, posting about it 10 times is absurd.
I don't want to sound like I don't care. Of course I care about these things.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Obviously, we don't think that.
But another thing, what it does is it desensitizes everyone.
Yeah.
From actual real tragedy. People, there's just as much outrage when, let's say, George Clooney or his wife or I don't know, like Greta Thunberg or something, like says something.
Yeah.
Or Candace Owens, as there is when there's an actual real tragedy. You know?
Yeah, that is true. It does take away.
It's the same, what's it called? And then like eventually, like you see these posts and like you can't. It's
like you're numb to it eventually. You get numb.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it all the time.
Yeah,
that happens to me. No, I hear what you're saying for sure.
So that's my issues with all these things. But again, like I think that there is again, like I don't know if like, you know, maybe they are doing it the right way. I can't tell you not, but I think we should try a different way.
Yeah, like, no, we have to.
We have nothing to lose.
I don't get how it's not clocking to us that like this isn't the way. This like I don't get how it's not like we're not getting the message that like this cycle situation that we talked about in the beginning, like that's all we need to do. Like I feel like it's so clear to me that like it's obviously so much harder, like easier said than done. But to me, like that is like Mashiach, you know, like us all being unified together is Mashiach. And like I used to get into I used to post a lot about like Jesus stuff, because whatever, I had a lot of like Christians in my DMs like asking why we don't believe in Jesus, and I started posting videos about it, and it got too much scripture in my DMs, so I stopped doing it because it was just annoying. But one of the things that always like stood out to me was I made one video about like how if Jesus was the Mashiach, like Jesus can't be the Mashiach because the Mashiach has to bring all the Jews to Israel, like we'd all have to be united in Israel, and I live in Miami, so like he's not the Mashiach, you know. And a lot of Christians like really got upset by that. They're like, what do you mean? Like, that's so unrealistic, like to get all the Jews like to Israel. Like, how would have Jesus done that? And I'm like, okay, this is coming from the same people who like think he walks on water and like does all this other stuff, which like no disrespect to what people believe. This is literally just, I'm explaining like what the Jews believe. But yeah, it is unrealistic. That's why like it would take a godly intervention to do that. And I think that godly intervention is anti-Semitism. Because I really think if anti-Semitism didn't exist, like the Jews would cease to exist, because we would have no one to bring us back together. You know, the cycle there would be a breach in the cycle.
Yeah.
So I think God creates these anti-Semites so that to get back together. And I think what's happening, like my theory for right now, obviously I'm not like claiming that I know the future. This is just like my theory of like just based on like learning Torah and like history, is that like these Christians were asking me, that's so unrealistic, how are all the Jews going to get to Israel? And I'm thinking like, well, look around. Like people are constantly moving to Israel now because it's becoming so insufferable to be a Jew where they live, in Belgium and Paris and wherever else. And like, it's just now starting in New York, which is really, really terrifying and really sad. But again, like I'm just a realist, and I think it's going to get a lot worse. Living in Miami, you don't really feel it a lot. So my theory is that like we're just going to go underwater one day, and that's the only way we're going to get out of here and go to Israel. Because I swear like Miami Jews never want to leave. But yeah, I think that's like really what's going to do it for us. That's the only way we learn at the end of the day. And it's like, why is it not clocking to us that like we can just like skip the anti-Semitism part and just like come together before God has to like put in one of those people to bring us together. I don't know. That's just my whole theory on anti-Semitism as a whole.
That definitely for sure. I used to think like that for sure. But I also used to be like, yeah, like everyone should live in Israel. Like we should all like.
I don't think right now we are supposed to live in Israel. I mean, it's obviously nice to live in Israel, but I don't think we have to live in Israel now. I think actually a lot of us have a much more important role outside of Israel and need to be here. But I think when Mashiach comes, like that's the only way we'll know that it's Mashiach. It's like we're all in Israel, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, some people say that Jesus is the Messiah, but he won't come back until we all believe in him.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
But
what I mean, it is the whole Jesus thing fascinates me.
Why?
Because it's well, okay, so like growing up, like we're not taught about Jesus. We're actually taught the opposite. Like you're not even allowed. We're not even allowed to say his name.
Yeah.
But during that time, like with COVID, like I started also like learning a little bit about Jesus, and his story is like the story is very similar to like, you know, like Yirmiyahu and Yechezkel, that like, you know, he kind of just came and had this message, and his message was a good message. Like, let's say like we weren't keeping like the Torah the right way, and he's like, this is how we should be keeping it.
Yeah.
And which is kind of true at the time if you look into the history
like what
of that.
He actually said, yeah.
And he also said that if you don't do this, the Beis Hamikdash is going to be destroyed, which happened. So like they're very like, there's similar stories to like the prophets of, you know,
right, yeah.
Some guy came, like a prophet came and, you know, told everyone to stop doing this. They didn't listen. Then God destroyed the whole, you know, that thing in that time. And that's kind of what happened with Jesus. I'm more like, I think there's more as a Jew. I think there's more. I think the Jews, I think we have him wrong, but I also don't think like he's necessarily like the Messiah.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, maybe I'm sure he was like he was a good Jew. Like he literally like kept halacha.
Yeah.
And he was a practicing Jew. I think.
Well, that's why Charlie Kirk, because also if you learn a little bit about like, you know, his teachings, he said you have to keep the whole Torah, all 613 mitzvahs.
Jesus
said
okay.
That, yeah. I don't know like how like Christianity today.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't have a problem with Jesus necessarily. I don't know much about him, but I'm saying I have a problem with like how he's been interpreted over the years. Like, I don't think if Jesus was alive today, he'd be like, wait, guys, like, this is not what I meant. Like, you know.
Yeah. No, for sure. This is just more like interesting.
But no, maybe he was like a holy person, like a tzaddik, maybe you can even say. I don't know. But he definitely wasn't the Mashiach, is what I'm saying, because the Mashiach has to follow certain criteria. It's like we have to like certain things have to happen. The temple has to be rebuilt, and like it wasn't. So
yeah,
I definitely don't. I like that's a stretch to say like he's a Mashiach. It's the same way that I agree. It's the same way that I see like a lot of like the Chabad movement who like think that the Rebbe was Mashiach. It's like he was a very holy person, but he didn't bring all the Jews to Israel and rebuild the temple and like all the other lists of things that he had to do. So how could he be the Mashiach, you know? Like, no disrespect to the Rebbe, but he wasn't, you know?
100%, yeah. But
and I know not all Chabad thinks that, so just need to preface that.
Yeah, no, listen, for me, I like to like with Lubavitcher Rebbe, like maybe he is, maybe he's not. For Jesus, maybe he is, but maybe he's not.
Wait, how could you say maybe though? How could they be?
How could they like
maybe they're like the ancestor of the Mashiach, you know?
Yeah, I would say like the Lubavitcher Rebbe. I think he's the only rabbi in the past like 100 years who was actually like kind of like a biblical figure who could like perform miracles, and like from all his stories like that. Like I think he's
I mean, no, he was definitely like a very holy, high level like tzaddik person. But I mean, there were other rabbis that could do that in the Sephardi world. Like they claimed the same things, you know.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think his movement is the most impressive to me. Like what he 100%. Built, you know,
yeah.
like he changed the way that Jews can live, you know, like he really like improved our representation like around the world and like spreading our mission like in such a great way. But yeah, he's a human. Like there's pros and cons like in all these things, you know. I have nothing against the Rebbe. I think he's an incredibly fascinating, holy person. I don't think he's the Mashiach.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think he's the Mashiach either. But also, like, I'm more like certain things. Like, I just don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's the Mashiach, to be honest. But is it possible? It's possible, you know, I guess.
Yeah, I also don't even think that we should be like so obsessed with like wanting to know what the Mashiach is. Like we're not really supposed to. If like I'm sure you know this if you've read Tanakh and stuff, like every time like we're gonna get a little information about the Mashiach, like God like wipes their memory and like it's like okay, we're not supposed to talk about this or know about this. Like I'm very much of like a Jew of like tell me what is actually like applicable to my like everyday life and like being a better person in my own life. Not like I don't need to know what like goes on in Olam Haba, like that freaks me out. Like I don't need to know what's going on in like the secrets of the world. Like tell me the things that like apply to my real everyday life. That's just like my personal approach. But yeah, like thinking too much about Mashiach and like explaining like what's gonna happen, what's actually gonna like is candy gonna grow on trees? Like we don't know. You know?
Exactly. But back to that. So but to that Jesus thing. So Charlie Kirk and his wife Erica.
Yeah.
The people are like they find it so fascinating that they want to keep Shabbos.
Oh yeah.
So there is a group of there are Christians that do believe that, you know, what Jesus said.
Like probably closer to his original message.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's one of them. So like
yeah, it's a very evangelical Christian like approach. Yeah, they are more. They're also like obsessed with Israel.
Yeah.
No,
it's very connected. Like the first Christians were we're all Jews, you know what I'm saying? So Christians technically, okay, now it became just like the whole world thing, but Christianity started off with Jews. But so what's the solution? Like how do we fight anti-? Okay, we talked about like what everyone's doing is not working, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
So how could we fix it as a people? Or at least attempt to do. I think it's fair to say we should give it a shot to try something new.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah,
for sure. I think like
it's not working for us.
I think we should all for 2 weeks ignore, like, don't respond to any of this stuff. You know, okay, of course, if God forbid there's a tragedy, and again, there's gonna be tragedies in the future. Happened before. And another thing about the whole fear thing. Okay, today everyone's like, what happened in Bandi, terrible situation. Every single anti-Semitic incident, terrible, is terrible. And for future anti-Semitic incidents, which will happen just the world that we live in, terrible. And the reality of the situation is there is still a substantially larger chance of someone getting hurt or killed in a car accident, or getting hurt and killed just for being a human to a human, of an illness, there's still a very, very, very tiny chance of someone getting killed or hurt from an anti-Semitic incident. Like it's one in.
Yeah, honestly, that's a really good point. I like that.
So people are in this constant state of fear, especially after something happens on a tragedy. You know, you see on social media, like people are like gunning down Jews in the street everywhere you go. This is what it's like, and you see everyone as a Jew. Go contact your Jewish friend. He's in a lot of pain right now. That's like, I don't think everyone's, you know, I think this is just like a lot of social media stuff. I think
it's definitely like it's heightened. Yeah, it's the same like thing as like your friend that tells you like they don't go in the ocean because they're scared of sharks. It's like, but they drove on the way to the beach, which is like much more likely to like get killed in that sense.
Exactly.
Like it's really not as bad as it seems, even though it seems really bad. Like, and those things are horrible. And I get why it's like uncomfortable for you to say these things because you don't want to take away from the tragedy. And I don't think you are. And I think anyone with the brain that's listening like will understand that. But yeah, these things are tragic, but it shouldn't like, we should not be like living in this constant state of fear of like everyone around you hates you and like, you know, it's still very unlikely.
Yeah, you should be a Jew should be more scared to get in a car to, you know, than to walk around with their yarmulke.
With their Jewish
100%.
I agree.
Like and to think of like this huge movement that's going on that's captivated millions of Jews and it's taking up so much attention from the media about all this. Like it really, if you think about it, really doesn't make that much sense because like like even post October 7th, people think like anti-Semitism has gotten a lot worse after October 7th. But if you actually think about the incidents that happened, anti-Semitic incidents, forget about October 7th. Obviously, October 7th, that was one story in itself. But other than the October 7th incident, it's not really that much more than before. You're just seeing a lot on social media.
I mean,
a lot
maybe
of it
not
is
the actual incidents, but the
comments you see.
The comments, yeah.
Okay, but that's just social media. You know what I'm saying? Like
no, but I think even in person, like I think there's a lot of misinformation happening on both sides. So there, like a lot of people are just talking about the Jews like a lot more than they ever were. You know,
yes.
Not ever were, but in our generation.
No, for sure. No, so it's the conversation. Yeah. So I'm saying, but yeah, no, you're right. On social media, it's a lot more out there. In fact, especially if you're Jewish, if you go on social media, probably 20% of your posts are going to be about that today, you know?
Yeah.
Going to be about like something that's going on. But
it's funny because I actually just did a post about like all the anti-Semitic incidents that happened, but it's more because like we're about to like release an episode on anti-Semitism.
Yeah, no, which is fine. Yeah. It's but if you actually think about it, it's not like, again, it's not as bad as what the media is making it out to be. It's safer to be Jewish than to get on an airplane. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, but I just think, again, like, I know this is so negative of me, but like, I think it's the early stages. I mean, it's just, this is just based on how history has played out for us in the past. Like, I don't think like, and it's funny because a lot of Jews have gotten more connected since like October 7th. And I'm not saying that that's like, I'm not like blaming any reason or whatever. Like, I hate when rabbis say like, oh, they weren't keeping Shabbat, that's why they got attacked. Like, okay, like, how do you know that? Like, whatever. But it has made Jews like want to like learn more about who they are, like there are, and I think that's the part that we should be focused on. Like, it has made Jews scared, a lot of Jews scared, but also has made Jews more interested in like, okay, what is this whole Judaism thing about? And I think that's the part that these activists should focus on, is like exploring like just your identity and your Judaism, and like, I don't know, like it just like kind of like making like, it's just comedy, you know, at the end of the day, like these people that hate on us and like make up stories about us. Like, it's like Justin Bieber just wrote a song about this, like about, because his wife gets a lot of like hate in the press and stuff, and he in his song he's like, it's comedy, like just block it out.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I find you can also appreciate some of the humor in the comments.
Yeah, no, sometimes I laugh.
Some of them are pretty funny.
I like when they call us juice. Have you seen those?
The Jews, like, promised you 3,000 years ago. Some of them are actually like, they're funny. You can joke about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, also if someone's being comedic in it, it's they don't really. You think they hate us so much when they're making a joke in like the...
Yeah. No, it goes back to the sensitive thing. Like, we've definitely gotten like, I hate when anti-Semitic things are like not actually anti-Semitic, and then we're just like so sensitive, especially when it comes to like even like the celebrities and stuff, like anyone who posted pro-Palestinian stuff that suddenly they're anti-Semitic. It's like they obviously are just trying to help. Like they don't actually understand like the depths of this conflict.
I mean, this actually, I find this so interesting. Whenever there's an award show,
yeah,
everyone's going to start posting about what pin someone wore or something like that. And there's like a lot of attention to this. I found this so interesting. So whatever the last award show was, I forgot what it was, but whatever it was, maybe the MTV Music Awards, whatever it was.
Okay.
So I saw like a bunch of the Jewish activists are posting about these celebrities who were wearing a pro-Palestine pin or, you know, took a stance for Palestine. And I Googled what's the viewership of the TV show. And it was like about like, maybe it was about like 1 million or 2 million people. Because I think these shows, like, they're not being watched as much as they were in the past.
Yeah.
And the amount of the views that are going on social media were so much more than that. So like
really,
if you would have just not talked about this, less people would have seen it.
That's crazy.
Then
That's so true.
You're making people see this.
We're making it so much worse.
You know, so it's like, again, it's a problem that's out there. I just think don't respond to it, ignore them, and then no one will talk about it, and it'll be a lot less noisy. No, you're
so right. That's so true. That really puts it into perspective. Because, the views.
Exactly. And focus on more, like you said, focus on, you know, I feel we should all be wearing yarmulkes. There are people a lot more religious than I am who won't wear their yarmulke. I think we should do it to normalize it also. Everywhere you go. Yep. If a Muslim can wear their hijab and feel confident and comfortable wearing their hijab, there's no reason why we shouldn't feel comfortable wearing a yarmulke. And don't wear it for religious reasons. Wear it to normalize it. Like, even for me, like I sometimes I'm upset that people don't wear it. I feel like, why am I the only person wearing this yarmulke? You know, it would make it so much. It would make it so much better for me. Because there are times where I'm not comfortable wearing it. You know, but like because like.
But you do it anyways.
I do it anyways, but like because no one else will do it. I like. Muslims, if there's only one Muslim wearing this, they would look a little strange. Right. But because there's millions of Muslims who are wearing it, it's normal. Right. Like, we're just, unless we're in our Jewish community, we don't wear this. Except for the Chabad people do.
I will say this for the, like, because my podcast is mainly women, like, how they can, like, take this approach on is, like, I always say that, like, if you're, like, in a cab or whatever, you're interacting with, like, the secular world and, like the opportunity comes where like comes up that you're Jewish, like don't like hide that. Like a lot of people will be like, where are you from? And like a lot of my friends will be like, I'm from Morocco, like my family's Moroccan. Like it's like, no, you're not. Like you're a Jew from Israel, like your parents just moved there from Morocco. Like take that opportunity as like, okay, I'm gonna tell them I'm a Jew, and now like I have the opportunity to make that like Kiddush Hashem because now they know that I'm Jewish.
Exactly.
Like instead of like hiding away from that, just say it like outwardly, and if it comes up, it comes up. Obviously, I'm not saying like you have to be annoying about it and like obnoxious, but we did like a whole episode on Kiddush Hashem, and I think it's like even if you're not gonna wear a kippah, you're not gonna like look like an Orthodox Jew, there's still ways that you can make a Kiddush Hashem.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the only way.
No, I know. I'm saying that like for women who are not wearing kippahs, like how can they take this on? Is just like not hiding the fact that you're Jewish. I feel like that's I always say like Kiddush Hashem like is the way to fight anti-Semitism, and like just more Jewish babies, you know, like
for sure. Well, let's say like with my wife, like sometimes I ask my wife like what is how does she feel next to me wearing a yarmulke, because you know she doesn't look Jewish. I mean, okay, she looks Jewish, but she doesn't necessarily look Jewish. Like if she could walk around and people won't know she's
and pass
Jewish.
as like a non-Jew, yeah.
Exactly. So, but when she's with me, she's, you know, and we live in a place where there's no yarmulkes, you know, and she's fine with it, you know. But it's like she's wearing a yarmulke because she's with me, so you know.
Right. Like, okay, so yeah.
Like
that is true.
Together.
Get your boyfriends a kippah, guys.
Yes. Get the boyfriends a kippah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the easiest way because it's like everyone knows that that's like a Jew. And you're wearing that, so yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think we should just make Kiddush Hashems, ignore that. Obviously, it's a very complicated war. People who are pro-Israel, they don't really see anything wrong with what they're doing. I'm on that side for the most part.
But you don't think it's scary at all to walk around with your kippah in Milan?
No.
Like it's funny because I'm like remembering we were in Milan like a year ago, and like when we went to the Jewish restaurant, I was like, I asked the waiter, I was like, what's the deal with the kippah? Like my husband wears a kippah, and he's like, I'm like, should he wear it? Should he not? And he was honestly telling us like around this area, like if you go like a few feet that way, like it's like basically Gaza, and like you should not be walking around with a kippah there. And then that like scared me.
So I live in that area. I lived in that area. I just moved, but still like a 15-minute walk. It's not true.
Not
true.
Okay.
100% you can wear your kippah. People might like
look at you.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the reasons why there's not a lot of anti-Semitism in Italy is because there's not a lot of Jews in Italy. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're not like looking for Jews because they don't even know they exist because there's such a small like Jewish community there. I think that's a part of it, but like, yeah, you totally can wear a yarmulke in Italy, no problem. I'll get some bad looks sometimes. Yeah, and I'll get some free Palestines, but I don't. Okay, only one time did I ever get like whoa, this guy's got to chill. I was on a metro. I was taking the metro to work, and this guy's like staring at me. And I figured, like, I don't know, maybe he likes my style or whatever. He's just like, he's just like staring at me the whole time, and I didn't think of anything like bad or good or just like interesting. When I get up to leave, he starts like screaming at me on the top of his lungs, like giving me the finger, saying like Israel, blah 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 blah. And I don't speak Italian also, so he's all in Italian. And again, if someone's yelling at you and you don't know what they're saying, you're just like, okay, whatever. But I honestly I feel bad for these people because like this guy, he's so worked up over something that makes no difference to him in his life.
It makes no sense.
And he's so worked up. I'm like, this guy's obviously he's nuts. These people like. They're nuts. Like if someone's like has a great life, they work hard, they have a good business, whatever,
they're not chanting free Palestine in the
street. Yeah, it's really what's it called?
Yeah, that's honestly another good way to look at it, and like I think another key to like kind of overcoming this is like kind of just to look at these people like you feel bad for them. Like that's like I just am embarrassed for some of the things that comes out of Candace Owens' mouth. Like I'm just like, to me it's like more funny than anything. Like I'm embarrassed for you, like. If that's what you want, like enjoy that life, but just be happy and like live your amazing life. Like that's how you show them off, like by like being successful, being better, being like happier. That's gonna piss them off more than like just saying like you're wrong, this is a lie, let me show you how Candace, like
Yeah, no, for sure. I will say there was one time in Italy where I felt uncomfortable. There was only it was 1 month where I felt uncomfortable wearing a yarmulke. It was about a month before the war ended. Mm-hmm. Because the flotilla with Greta Thunberg. So one of the flotillas was an Italian boat, and Israel intercepted it. And technically, the way some Italians looked at it is they were kind of like it was an attack on Italy because they weren't allowed. It was in like what's the intercontinental like water? It was an area where they were allowed to be international waters, and then like Italy really like a lot of people like got very like against Israel for that time. They shut the metro station down. They had a strike with that, train station, and they had massive protests. And it was like that was the only time when I felt I wouldn't say scared, but felt uncomfortable wearing one. Yeah. But now that it's over, it was it's.
But so were there more Jews in Italy and now there's less because a lot of them are moving to Israel?
No, the Italian Jews are staying. There's just not a lot. Yeah, there was never a huge Jewish community there.
Doesn't Rome have a pretty big Jewish community there or not necessarily?
So Milan has, they say 5,000 to 10,000 Jews in a city of 3 million people. And also most of the Jews like,
that's not a lot at all.
Not a lot at all. And maybe 1,000 are Orthodox,
right.
But, a lot of
like
Jewish,
2 kosher restaurants.
But in that, a lot of like Jewish pride.
Yeah.
And then but Rome has the bigger Jewish community. I think there's 30,000 Jews there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I remember it being like pretty big. Like they have a whole like quarter for the Jews.
Yeah. The whole ghetto. There's a lot of Jewish history in Italy.
It's funny because also in high school we actually my sister was like 4 years older than us, so she went to college, and then my mom like felt like we needed someone, like she felt like someone was missing the house, so she brought like a foreign exchange student to come live with us from Italy. She's from Rome. And I remember her like being really shocked about like people walking around with kippahs. This was like years ago. And she was like, how are they just like walking around? Or like we'd mention at the restaurant, like, oh, we keep kosher, so we can't have like the shellfish or whatever. And she'd be like, you're telling him that you keep kosher? Like, isn't that dangerous? Mm-hmm. Like she thought that was like crazy, like even back then.
It's true.
So it really isn't like maybe not that different, Again, people are just more comfortable saying it now, I think.
It depends who you ask. It happens to be a lot of the Italians, like they will tell you like what you heard. Like when you ask them, they're like, yeah, no, don't wear it. It's scary. And I think that they have this view because of, because of all this fear that we're basically, because I used to be like this, by the way. I came to this way of thinking. I was just like everyone else when it comes to like anti-Semitism.
And I'm not going to say
blah.
that I'm not like completely scared, but like talking to you and hearing your perspective is making me like less scared because it is unlikely even,
Yeah, I think it's like, I grew into this perspective. Like I used to I would be the influencer if, shouting out anti-Semitism like everyone else is. But, by me living this life and sending my kids to this school where like literally like there are kids that my kids are friends with who are from Lebanon. For all you know, they're connected to Hezbollah. They work in government. I don't know, but like they came to our son's bar mitzvah.
Yeah,
and we and like there's a way of like I think there's a way to build bridges between people, and like I think like the best way is like, okay, listen. Like we said before, only the governments are making a difference. None of this protest or this or that really does anything. Maybe it might feel good, or you're getting like some stress out. But if you could, but like, if we can figure out how to get along, then, then if we can get along, then maybe like the governments can get along, or if the governments can get along, we should be able to get along. Like the war is over. Why are we still doing this? You know what I'm saying?
No, literally, why are we still doing this? I'm so over it.
Yeah. It's isn't it over, the war?
Yeah. No,
it's over, right?
It's pretty,
but it doesn't feel like it's over.
It doesn't. No.
If you go on social media.
It's not. But yeah, I think we should leave off the gardeners with just like positive messaging. How to fight anti-Semitism. We said Kiddush Hashem.
Kiddush Hashem.
Unity.
Be the best Jew you can be. Always do the concept in the Torah is just like be the best Jew you could be, and Hashem will protect us.
Yep.
So that's one, and I think
Jewish babies.
Don't respond. Try not to respond and see what happens.
Yeah, keep it classy, guys. Like literally the classiest people on social media, like my favorite influencers, whenever there's like heated stuff going on in the press about them, like my favorite is when they just like ignore it. Like they're just like so classy about it. The people that are like making a video and like saying like I actually didn't mean this, and like that's like so embarrassing for you. Like just stop. Like it's just, we're better than that. We have better things to do than like fight with these trolls. I honestly learned a lot from you. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks
this
for having us.
This is very like chizuk for me.
Yeah. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for growing with us today. If you enjoyed this episode of Eve's Gardeners, share it, like it, comment, subscribe, whatever else there is. I would seriously appreciate it. And if you want to stay up to date with new episodes that are coming out, follow @Eve's Gardeners on Instagram and TikTok. I cannot wait to hang out in the garden again next week. Bye.